Hello and welcome to History Time. The Olympic Games are going on, and therefore this may be an appropriate moment to see what is the connection that Chennai has had with the Olympic Games. There was a comment that not many people won medals from here. The numbers may be few, but they were significant. Let us look at their stories in this episode. It was from 1924 onwards that India began to send teams to participate in the Olympics. And there was a very special connect, at least in the early years, to Chennai. It was in Madras that Harry Crow Buck from America came in 1920. He came as a representative of the Young Men's Christian Association. The YMCA had had a presence in Chennai going back to the 1890s, and they operated from a magnificent building located on NSC Bose Road, which was then known as China Bazaar Road, and that building stands even today. But it was with the arrival of Harry Crow Buck in 1920 that a YMCA College of Physical Education was opened in the Nandanam area. At that time, it was not known as Nandanam. Buck was a man who believed very strongly in physical fitness, sports capabilities, and he decided that this would be the institution for that. He was also the first director of the YMCA College of Physical Education. Therefore, when the 1924 team went to participate in the Olympics, much of their training happened here in Madras city. Thereafter, Indian teams were sent every year to participate in the Olympics. And from 1928 onwards, India had a long record of winning medals, particularly in field hockey. In 1936, there was a man from Madras in the Indian Olympic team that went to participate in Berlin, and that was Ernest Goodsir Cullen. It is not known if he was an Englishman or whether he was an Anglo-Indian. But in 1936, having been born in Kerala, in 1936 he was studying in the Madras Medical College, qualifying to be a doctor, and he participated in the Olympics as a member of the Indian hockey team, which won the gold medal that year. Later on, he went to establish practice as a doctor in the United Kingdom. Now, if that was a Chennai connect, there is an even more interesting connect for 1936. And that was C.S.A. Swami, Christian Sebastian Arul Swami. Born in 1920 in Ooty, Swami studied there and then came to Madras and finally joined the Indian Express as a cub reporter. In 1936, he was the youngest member of the Indian team and he went as a marathon runner. He unfortunately contracted typhoid en route to Berlin. But on reaching there, he would not give up participating. He decided that he would have to run the marathon. The marathon itself was scheduled for the last day of the Berlin Olympics and to conclude just in time for the closing ceremony. But Swami was slow because he was so weak because of the typhoid, but he wouldn't stop. As a consequence, the entire closing ceremony had to be delayed, and everybody, including Adolf Hitler, waited for Swami to finish. Expectedly, he did not win any medal, but he stayed the entire course. Those were all pre-independence legends from here. But from 1948 onwards, independent India began to send teams to participate in the Olympics. And the first team trained once again in the YMCA at Nandanam. Buck by then was dead, but his successors were there to train the team. And that year, we had two people from Madras participating in the Olympics. The first was Eric Prabhakar. Born in 1925 in this city, he later studied in Baldwin High School in Bangalore and came back to study at the Madras Christian College. He was a very good adept at any sport that he took, whether it was cricket, whether it was hockey or sprinting or long distance running. He went to participate in the London 1948 Olympics, but he did not make it beyond the quarterfinals in the 100 meters. Later, He obtained a Rhodes Scholarship, studied in England, went on to work for a multinational and then the UNESCO, came back to India and became a sports administrator. He passed away just a decade or so ago. Another man from Madras, or a man with a Madras connection, who participated in the 1948 Olympics was Henry Rebello. Like Eric Prabhakar, he too studied at the Baldwin School in Bangalore, but he came to Madras and became a student of the Loyola College. He was an expert on the triple jump, and at the time of the 1948 Olympics, he held a record. He had jumped 50 feet 2 inches. He was considered to be a certainty for the gold medal, but then fate had something else in waiting for him. On August 3rd, 1948, he had warmed up and was ready for his jump when he was asked to wait in order to allow for a victory procession to pass through. When that was over, he was asked to jump, and without doing any warm-up, he attempted his jump. He tore a ligament in the process and had to be stretchered away from the stadium. He never was the same again, but he came back and joined the Indian Army and retired from there. He too became a sports administrator. In 1948, we also had a legend going from Madras to participate in the Olympics, and he holds a record of sorts because he was part of a team that won 3 gold medals in the Olympics. That was R. Francis. His real name was R. Manikam, and he was born in 1920 in Rangoon. During the Second World War, the family migrated to Madras, and that is where he converted to Christianity and changed his name to R. Francis. The R incidentally stood for Ranganathan, and today most people refer to him as Aranganathan. He joined the Madras Police, where he was noticed for his prowess in sports, particularly in hockey. He became a goalkeeper in the Indian hockey team and participated in 3 Olympics, 1948 in London, 1952 in Helsinki, and 1956 in Melbourne. In all 3, the Indian team won the gold. Having come back to India, he continued working for the police, retired in 1968 and passed away in 1975. We now come to 2 brothers, both of them from Madras, that is Chennai. The elder was V.J. Peter, and he was born in 1937. Having studied here, Peter joined the Madras Engineering Group and Centre of the Indian Army, and there he was responsible for establishing a hockey team. He became a part of the Indian team and participated in 3 Olympics, 1960 in Rome, 1964 in Tokyo, and 1968 in Mexico. In Rome, the team won a silver, in Tokyo it won a gold, and in Mexico it won a bronze. Peter continued to be a part of the Indian Army, retired with the rank of captain, and was also given the Vishisht Seva medal. He passed away in 1998. Peter's younger brother was V.J. Phillips. Born in 1950, he joined the Indian Railways. In those days, as it is common even today, all the large organizations of India, particularly the public sector, they all maintained hockey teams. State Bank of India, Indian Railways, and of course, the armed forces like the Army and the Air Force. V.J. Phillips therefore became a part of the Indian Railways, and therefore he also became eventually a part of the Indian hockey team. As a member of the Indian Olympics team in hockey, he participated in the 1972 Munich Olympics, where India won a bronze. Later, he continued as part of the Indian hockey team, and today he lives in Chennai. Like the public sector undertakings, some of the old educational institutions of this city also played a very important role in fostering sports. One of these was the Madrasa-e-Azam, which still functions from Mount Road. Its premises was once a palace that belonged to the Nawab of Arcot and was known as Umda Bagh. Shaped like a scorpion, it was a beautiful building that collapsed due to lack of maintenance during the rains a few years ago. But its vast playgrounds encouraged lots of sports champions, one of whom was Munir Seth. Though he is more than 80 today, he is still a sports enthusiast. and in his heyday, he could play any sport, whether it was squash, whether it was hockey, whether it was polo, you name it, Munir Seth could play it. He joined the State Bank of India and was also a part of the Indian Olympic team that went to participate in the 1968 Olympics in Mexico. As a hockey player, he was part of the team that won the bronze that year. Just like the Madrasa-e-Azam, the Wesley Higher Secondary School in Royapettah is also an institution that has produced a number of sportspersons, and two of them were Olympic champions. One of them was V. Bhaskaran, born in 1950, and he studied here and later on went on to become a member of the Indian Olympic team that played hockey. He participated in two Olympics, 1976 when India did not win any medal, and then as captain in the 1980 Moscow Olympics where India won the gold. He continues to remain a very popular sports coach living in Chennai today. The second Olympian from the same school was Krishnamurthy Perumal. He participated in the 1968 Mexico Olympics and the 1972 Munich Olympics, both in hockey, and India won medals in both the matches. Both of them were bronzes. We now come to a person from Tamil Nadu, but who spent his early years in the Punjab, and that was Charles Cornelius. His family migrated there to serve in the defense forces, and later he joined the Punjab police. And it was from here that he went to participate in the Olympics. He participated in the 1972 Munich Olympics, where India won a bronze for hockey. Today, Charles Cornelius lives on in Chennai. We have looked predominantly at people who played hockey. Now let us look at an unusual choice, basketball. India sent teams as well. And in 1980 to the Moscow Olympics, Amarnath Jayaraman from Theni in Tamil Nadu became the captain. He had trained predominantly in Coimbatore and later on in Chennai. As expected, India did not win anything, but he had the satisfaction of having played against some great legends. Today, Amarnath Jayaraman is a sannyasi. He took to monastic orders and calls himself Swami Nateshananda Saraswati and lives in the Coimbatore area. And this way we have had a number of Olympians, and my list ends by 1970, 1980. And after that we have had several others as well. The list is very long, but we have not seen much success by way of medals. And that list maybe we should take up 4 years from now when the next Olympics is played. Let us hope for the best. If you like this episode, like it, share it, and subscribe to this channel. And I will be back with you in the coming weeks with fresh episodes. Bye for now.